Good evening. Welcome back to another series of lecture on interfacing to 8086 microprocessor. Today we will discuss about interfacing 8255 programmable peripheral interface with 8086 microprocessor. The roadmap for discussion: we will talk about what is 8255, what is an internal architecture of 8255, what are the different working modes of 8255, how do we configure 8255 using control word register both in IO mode and bit set reset mode, and how does 8255 work in different modes of operation, and we will consider an example of interfacing few LEDs and switches with 8255 with 8086. 8255 programmable peripheral interface is required in cases where when you want to expand the interfacing capability of microprocessors. Take an example of 8086. 8086 has 16 data lines and 20 address lines. At any given instance, you can only communicate to one device or a set of devices. When you want to interface more number of IO devices which need to work in tandem together, then you need more number of ports. So, in order to enhance the arms of the microprocessor to integrate more number of input-output devices, this necessitates devices like 8255 which are called as programmable peripheral interface devices. 8255 is a general purpose programmable IO device which can be used by different microprocessors. It is basically a 40-pin DIP chip which has 24 IO lines which can be used as 3 ports. This is a pin structure of 8255. 8255 is a 40-pin IC which consists of port A, port C upper, port C lower and port B. All the ports, port A, port B, port C, are 8-bit bidirectional port. Port A can be used as a complete 8-bit port. Port B can be used as a complete 8-bit port. Port C can be used as two 4-bit ports which are called as port C lower and port C upper. These 3 ports constitutes 24 pins. To transfer the data from the microprocessor, 8 data lines are available labeled as D0 to D7 which are bidirectional lines used to transfer control and data information from the microprocessor to the peripheral devices through 8255. 2 command lines, read bar and write bar, which are active low signals, receive the information from the microprocessor either to write to the peripheral device or read from the peripheral device. 2 address lines, A0 and A1, are used for selection of port A, port B, port C or control word register. In order to bring back the device under normal working conditions, in case of an abnormality, reset signal is used. Chip select, which is a global enable for this device, is an active low signal, and 2 power lines, VCC and ground. All this together form 40 pins of the 8255. So, let us look in detail what exactly the functionalities of these pins are. D0 to D7. These are the data input output lines for the device. All the information read from or written to 8255 is carried out on this lines. These lines are connected to lower data lines of your microprocessor. Chip select, which is an active low signal, is an input signal to 8255. Whenever the signal goes low on this line, 8255 is enabled. So, this signal can be used from the microprocessor side to trigger whenever the microprocessor wants to make use of 8255. RD bar, read signal. This is also an active low signal which is an input to 8255, receives the signals from the microprocessor. So, whenever the signal goes low, the microprocessor is intending to read the information from the peripheral devices through 8255, like say keyboard, WR bar, write. This is also an active low signal. Whenever this signal goes low, it is an intention from the microprocessor to 8255 that it wants to write some information to the peripheral device. Let us say display. You want to display some information from the microprocessor. A0 and A1 are two address lines which has four possible combinations: 00, 01, 10 and 11. These four possible combinations are used for selection of port A, port B, port C and the internal control register. Reset signal. When 8255 is placed in this reset, this is an active high signal. All the functionalities of 8255 are reset, brought back to the normal functionality. When 8255 is reset, all the ports of 8255 are configured as input ports. Then port A0 to port A7, port B0 to port B7, port C0 to port C7. These signal lines are used as 8-bit IO ports. This describes the pin functionalities of 8255. So when we look at the basic operations based on the pins, when A0 and A1, the address lines, are 00 and the read signal is 0 and chip select is enabled, you are actually performing a read operation from port A on the data bus. Similarly, when the combination is 01, the read signal is 0 and the chip select is enabled, you are performing a read operation on port B on the data bus. When it is 10, the read signal is activated, the chip select is activated, you are reading from port C on the data bus. When the address is 1 and 1, the read signal is activated and the chip select is also activated. You are actually reading the status of 8255. When the same input combinations are repeated, the read signal is disabled, the write signal is enabled. You are actually performing an output operation. So when the input combinations are 00, you are writing the values to the device connected to port A through data bus. If it is 01, you are writing to a peripheral device connected to port B through data bus. When it is 10, you are writing to a peripheral connected to port C through data bus, and when it is 11, you are actually writing into the control word register of 8255 through the data bus. This is an important point that we need to remember, because this defines how the 8255 functions based on your address information A0 and A1 and three control signals: read, write and chip select. So one important thing that we need to remember, the three control signals read, write, chip select are active low. So when we say when these signals are activated, means logic 0. When they are disabled, means logic 1, because they are active low signals. When we look at the functional block diagram of 8255 or the internal architecture of 8255, the entire part of 8255 internally is divided into two basic groups: Group A, Group B. Group A consists of port A and port C upper. Group B consists of port B and port C lower. The internal architecture consists of a read-write logic, data bus buffer, Group A control logic, Group B control logic. Group A, port C upper, Group B, port C lower, and port B. This is the internal bus of 8255. These data lines D0 to D7 from the data bus buffer are connected to the microprocessor. A simple way of saying it is, this side it is a microprocessor side and this side is a peripheral side. This side is a peripheral side. All the signals D0 to D7 are connected to data lines of microprocessor. Read, write, address lines, reset signal, chip select signal are all connected to the microprocessor. Then the port lines, port A, port B and port C are connected to the respective peripherals. So maybe it could be switches, it could be display, it could be a keyboard, it could be a joystick, any of the peripheral devices which is compatible with us. So when we look at the functionalities of this device, we look into what is the functionality of each of the blocks of 8255. What is the functionality of data bus buffer? This is a 3-state bidirectional 8-bit buffer. It is used to interface 8255 to the system data bus. So when I say system data bus, it is a microprocessor. So data is transmitted or received by the buffer upon the execution of in and out instructions by the CPU. Control words and status information are also transferred through this data bus buffer. The read-write control logic are the brain of 8255. This functional block manages all the internal and external transfers of your 8255, both data and as well as control and status words. It accepts the inputs from the CPU address and controls buses, accepts inputs from the CPU address and in turn issues commands to Group A and Group B of your 8255. The address lines A0 and A1 are used for port selections. These are the input signals. This along with read signal and write control the selection of one of the 3 ports and also the control word. So these normally are connected to the least significant bits of the address bus. So when we take 8086, we have A19 to A0, the least significant address lines A1 and A0 will be connected to 8255 and the remaining address lines from say A3 to A19 will be used for address decoding. So there are 2 ways in which your 8255 can be accessed, either as IO mapped IO or memory mapped IO. When it is used as memory mapped IO, your addresses will be from A0 to A19. When it is used as IO mapped IO, your addresses will be from A0 to A16. So in this case, we will talk about using it as an IO mapped IO. The chip select signal, which is an active low signal, when a low signal is received on these lines, it enables the communication between the 8255 and CPU. It is similar to chip select of memory devices that we have talked in the previous lecture. Read bar and write bar, these are the control signals. These are used along with the address lines A0 to A1, defining whether you are performing a IO read or IO write through port A, port B or port C. When RD bar is 0, you are performing a read operation. When WR bar is 0, you are performing a write operation. So read in the sense the information is going towards the microprocessor. When you say write, the information is coming from the microprocessor. The reset signal, which is an active high signal, this signal initializes the control word registers and all the ports of 8255 will be configured in input mode. So far we discussed about what is 8255, what is the pin structure of 8255, what is the internal architecture of 8255, what are the different functionalities of different units of 8255. Now the important thing is that how do we make use of 8255 when we want to program it, interface with other devices. This is where the modes of operation of 8255 will come into picture. 8255 basically operates in two modes of operation. One we call it as IO mode, the other one is called BSR mode. IO mode refers to input output mode. Bit set mode refers to operating only an individual bit. In IO mode, the data is processed as 8 bits at a time. In BSR mode, the data is processed as 1 bit at a time. The basic operation of 8255 lies in the IO mode of operation, where all the ports, port A, port B, port C, can be used, whereas in BSR mode you can only use port. So in IO mode of operation, 8255 can be operated in three modes called as mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2 of operation. Mode 0 is called as basic input output mode. Mode 1 is called as strobed input output mode or handshake input output mode, and mode 2 is a bidirectional bus where only port A can be used. We will look in detail about the functionality of 8255 in mode 0, mode 1, mode. So default, when the reset is made high, all the ports are configured as input ports. So default, even when the reset is removed, all the ports of 8255 will default be configured as input port. Now, when you want to program any port as an output port, then you have to define how you are going to use the port. So to define that, you have to write a control word in 8255 to define which port you are going to use as an input port, which port you are going to use it as a output port, and in what mode of operation you are going to use this port. To define that, you have to use a register called as CWR, also called as control word register, which defines whether you are operating in IO mode or BSR mode, and also defines whether you are operating in mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2 in IO mode of operation. So when we look at this detailed diagram of modes of operation of 8255, you have the address bus, control bus and the data bus. This is the address bus, control bus, data bus. This information is coming to you from the microprocessor. The address lines are connected to A0 to A1 and the chip select logic. The data lines are connected to D0 to D7. And the control lines, read and write, are connected to read and write of 8255. Let us assume that we have configured 8255 in mode 0 of operation. So in mode 0 of operation, as we have said, it is a simple IO operation. All the ports, port A, port B and port C, can be used as IO ports. Either they can be used as an input port or an output. So here effectively we have three 8-bit ports in this mode of operation, and there are no handshake signals. Handshake in the sense there are no acknowledgement signals. So there is no guarantee of information being successfully transmitted or successfully received. In mode 1 of operation, port A and port B can be used as IO ports. Port C cannot be used as an IO port. The lines of the port C, the upper 4 lines of the port C, these are the upper 4 lines of the port C, and the lower 4 lines of the port C are used for acknowledgement signals. Acknowledgement signals in the sense, I want to send the data, I am ready to receive the data, I have received the data. These are the ones. These kinds of signals will establish a faithful transfer of information from the source to destination. So normally we call them as acknowledgement signals or handshake signals. That is the reason this is called a strobed IO mode. So these lower 4 lines of port C are augmented to port B for handshake signals. The upper 4 lines of the port C are augmented with port A for the handshake operations. In mode 2 of operation, port A can be used as a bidirectional port, whereas port B either can be used in mode 0 or mode 1 of operation. For port A to be used as a bidirectional port in mode 2, 5 control lines are required. These 5 control lines will be fetched from port C. So typically, when we are using mode 2 of operation, we can use full-fledged port B in either mode 0 or mode 1, and only port A can be used in mode 2 of operation with 5 lines of handshake signals from port A from port C supporting port A. So port C cannot be used when port A is being used in mode 2 for IO operations. So modes for port A and port B can be defined separately. Well, port C is divided into 2 portions as required for port A and port B. So port C is divided into port C lower, port C upper. Port C upper is associated with port A. Port C lower is associated with port B. So for instance, group B can be programmed in mode 0 to monitor simple switch closings or display computational results. Group A could be programmed in mode 1 to monitor a keyboard or tape recorder on an interrupt driven basis. So different ways in which you can use. So port B in mode 0, port A in mode 1 of operation. To configure these modes, before we use this ports, we have to configure this register. This register in short is called as CWR. This is the first and foremost operation that we have to do. Control word registers. This is an 8-bit register with this D7 bit being your MSB and D0 bit being your LSB. MSB bit defines whether you are operating your 8255 in IO mode or BSR mode. To operate 8255 in IO mode, you have to keep this as to 1, and if you have to operate this in BSR mode, you have to keep this D0 D7 bit to 0. Only when D7 bit is equal to 1, you have 3 modes of operation. Mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2 of operation. D6 and D5 are used to define the mode selection of port. They are used to define the mode selection of port A. If it is 0 0, mode 0, 0 1, mode 1, 1 1 or 1 0, it is mode 2. So port A can be operated in 3 modes: mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2. D4 bit defines whether you are going to use port A as an input port or an output. If this signal is 1, you are defining port A as input port, and if this signal is 0, you are defining it as an output port. D3 bit defines the functionality of port C. Port C can be only operated in mode 0, so there is no mode bit for port C. Either you are operating port C lower as an input, port C upper, sorry, this is upper, port C upper as an input port or an output port. 1 is for input, 0 is for output. D2 bit is used for defining the mode of operation of port B. It is used to define the mode of operation of port B. Port B can be operated in 2 modes, mode 0 and mode 1. So if D2 bit is 0, it is mode 0 of port B. If D2 bit is 1, it is mode 1 of port B. D1 bit defines whether you are using port B as an input port or output port. So remember, global 1 is input, 0 is output for all ports, port A, port B and port C. So if you make D0 bit equal to, D1 bit equal to 0, you are defining your port B as an output port, and if you are defining this as 1, you are defining it as an input port. The D0 bit is used to define the functionality of port C lower, whether you are using the port as an input port or output port. So if D0 is equal to 1, port C lower is an input port, and if it is 0, it is an output port. So this configuration of control word register is very much important. So let us consider an example. We want to define port A as input, port B as output, and also port C as output in mode 0 of operation for all the words. So what will be the structure of it? As we are performing an IO based operation, D7 will be equal to 1. As we are operating port A in mode 0, D6, D5 will be 0. As port A is an input port, 1 is defined for input. Port C, both lower and upper are used as output, so port C upper will be 0. Port B is also used in mode 0. It is used as an output port, so 0 is for output. And port C is also used as output. So default, what is the control word that we have? 9 0. So when we write the control word 90 in hexadecimal, then we are configuring 8255 in basic IO mode with port A in mode 0 as input, port B in mode 0 as output, and port C upper and lower as output. So this is one of the primary part that we have to do before we actually start programming and configuring 8255. So far we have seen how we can use the IO mode of operation of 8255. The other mode of operation of 8255 is the BSR mode. This is achieved when the D7 bit of control word register is made equal to 0. This BSR mode is only applicable to port C, where 8 bits of port C can be operated independent of each other. So this is similar to set and reset. So when we want to do multiple operations of just controlling 8 devices which are independent of each other, so instead of using one entire port to achieve the job, we can make use of this port C, which will save on the IO resources. The basic structure of the control word register in BSR mode is that the D7 bit is made equal to 0. So the structure of D6 to D0 will change. Bits D6, D5, D4 are not used, so they are don't care conditions. Bits D3, D2, D1 describe which pin of port C is to be used. Port C pins range from PC0 to PC7. So to address this 8 lines, we need 3 bits starting from 0, 0, 0 to a last value of 1, 1 and 1. To achieve this, D3, D2, D1 are used, and D0 is used to define whether that particular bit, whichever you have selected using these 3 lines, is to be made equal to 0 or equal to 1. 1 for set, 0 for reset. If you look into this table here D3 bit is a MSB. This is a MSB bit. Here D1 is a LSB bit. So and this row defines which bit is being selected of port C. So if it is 000, it is PC0, 001 PC1, 010 PC2, 011 PC3, 100 PC4, 110 PC6 and 111 PC7. Let us consider an example that I want to set port C pin 3. So what is the control word that I have to write? As I am using this in BSR mode, I want to make this PC3 to be equal to 1. I'll make D7 as 0. The remaining 3, D6, D5, D4 I don't care, so I'll put them as zeros. D3, D2, D1 should now define PC3. So what will be that? 0, 1, 1. So this is a bit selection. This selects here PC3. Now I want to make this as equal to 1. So your D0 bit should be equal to 1. So what is your control word? This is equal to 0, 7. So when you send the control word 0, 7, port 3, port C, pin 3 will be set to 1. So let us say if we connect an LED there, the LED will turn on. And in case you want to make this pin 0, all the structure will remain same, only this bit will become 0. So what will be your control word? 0, 6. Say suppose you have connected an LED there, now the LED will turn off. So now let us look in detail what are the different modes of operation or operating modes of 8255. The first mode of operation in IO mode, whatever we are discussing now is in IO mode. In IO mode only you have 3 modes of operation: mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2 of operation. Mode 0 is a basic input output mode. So this functionality provides a simple input and output operations of the 3 ports, and you don't need any acknowledgement signals or handshaking signals. Just you send the data and receive the data. In this mode you have 2 full 8-bit ports and 2 4-bit ports available. Full 8-bit ports are port A and port B, and two 4-bit ports are port C upper and port C lower. In this configuration, any port can be an input port or output port. The features are the outputs are latched, the inputs are not latched, and there are 16 different input output configurations that are possible in mode 0 of operation. When we say outputs are latched, when you are sending the data is held until the peripheral device is received, and when the data is read from the devices, is directly read into the microprocessor. Mode 1 of operation is a strobed input output mode or handshaked input output mode or input output mode with acknowledgement. This functional provides a means of transferring IO data to and from a specified port with handshake signal. So means that there is a clear authentication of whether the receiver is receiving the data, transmitter is transmitting the data, whether the data is successfully transmitted and received. In that case, port A will be a port for transmission and reception of the data. Port B will also be a port for transmission and reception of the data. Now port C will provide these handshake signals to support the communication on port A and port B. So in this mode, it is divided into group A and group B. Group A consists of port A, which basically performs the data operation with handshake signals on port C upper 4 lines, and group B uses port B with handshake signals on port C lower 4 lines are called as port C lower. So basically in this mode of operation you have only two groups, group A, group B. Group A with port C upper as control lines, group B with port C lower as control lines. So each group contains an 8-bit port and one 4-bit control and data port. So these 8-bit ports, like typically port A and port B, can be an input port or output port. In this case, both the inputs are latched and outputs are also latched. Whereas in mode 0 of operation, only outputs were latched, inputs were not latched. In mode 1 of operation, and it's in handshake mode, to provide a clear authentication of data transfer, both the input and outputs are latched, and the 4-bit port used to control and status of there are two 4-bit ports, that is port C upper and port C lower, that are used to provide the control and status information of the port A and port B. The other mode of operation is mode 2 of operation. In this, only group A can be used. Group A in the sense port A can be used with control and status lines from port C. Here you need 5 lines from port C to support the data transfer operation on port A. So one 8-bit bidirectional port, that is port A, and 5 control signals from port C. In this case also, both the inputs and outputs are latched, in the sense to provide a clear data transfer with authentication and successful reception and transmission, both the inputs and outputs are latched. The 5-bit control port C is used for control and status of 8-bit bidirectional port A. So when port A is being used in mode 2 of operation, port B can be operated in mode 0 of operation or with care in mode 1 of operation. So far we have seen how the control word register can be configured, what are the functionalities in different modes of operation. Here we will consider an example wherein we will try to interface an 8255 chip with 8086 to work as an IO port. So here port A will be configured as an output port, port B will be configured as an input port, and port C will be configured as a output. So there is a constraint. The port A address should be 0740 hexadecimal. So there is also a requirement of writing an assembly language program to sense the switches which are connected to port B, and sensor pattern is to be displayed on port A, to which 8 LEDs are connected, and simultaneously on port C should display how many switches are on, how many switches are off. So we'll try to recollect. We need to connect an 8255 8086 microcontroller where port A is to be configured as output port, port B is to be configured as an input port, and port C is also to be configured as output. So LEDs are connected to port A and C, and switches are connected to port B. So remember, switches are input devices, LEDs are output devices. So as you are configuring port A and port C as output port, so LEDs will be connected to that, and port B is configured as an input port, so switches will be connected to this. So now we have to write a control word for this. So which mode we are going to operate now? So as you are making use of all the 3 ports, default it is a IO mode of operation that we will be operating with. So IO mode of operation that we will be operating with. In which mode we have to operate? As all the 3 ports are being used, only mode 0 supports use of all the 3 ports. So we configure this in mode 0 of operation. We have to remember input is equal to, so to configure a port as an input port, it should be made 1. To configure a port as an output port, the value should be made equal to 0. So now let us look at this. Assuming that this is a control word register of 8255. So let us take so this is a D7 bit, this is a D0 bit, this is your MSB, this is your AS. So what mode we are operating? IO mode. So D7 should be equal to 0, and all the ports should be operated in mode 0. So this 2 bits define the mode of operation of port A. So they should be equal to 0, they should be equal to 0. Port A is used as output port. So this defines the mode of operation of port A. So this is 0. Port C is also used as an output port. This is port C upper. This is also made equal to 0. This is a mode of operation of port B. This is equal to 0. This defines whether port B is used as an input port or output port. So here we are going to use port B as a input port. So this bit is made equal to 1, and this B0 bit, which is port C lower, it should be used as output. So this is 0. So what is the structure that we have? This is 8 and this is 2. So the control word that we have is 82. So when we do this, we are operating port A in mode 0 as output, port C in mode 0 as output, port B in mode 0 as output. This is the primary part that we have to remember. And also remember, the address of the port A should be 0740. Right. So in 8086 we have a concept called as odd addressing and even addressing. And your 8086 is a 16-bit processor, means that it has data lines D15 to D8 and D7 to D0. Whereas your 8255 has only 8 data lines represented as D0 to D7. So to make use of this, it is always preferred to use even addressing in 8086 so that you can access the lower data lines of 8086. To configure this, even addressing is achieved only when A0 bit is equal to 0. So we make all this A0 is equal to 0 so that we have even address. What is our address requirement for port A? For port A, the address requirement is 0740. So if we clearly look, what is the addresses that we have? 00, 01, 10, 1. 00 represents port A. 01 represents port B. 10 represents port C. 11 represents control word register. Right? So to achieve this, we have to keep in this mind. So when you form a complete address, these structures will define whether you are using port A, port B, port C or control word register. So with A0 being kept as zeros, A2 and A1 are used for forming the address 00, 01, 10, 1, 1. The address requirement is 0740. So what is the lowest address that we have here? 4. Right. So to fill that, A3 bit is all made 0 so that you get the lower address of even address of 0, 2, 4, 6 so that the data transfer from microprocessor will happen on D7 to D0. So now you see that the lower digit is satisfied. This is 0, this is 2, this is 4 and this is 6. So now as port A needs to have 0740 or address, we'll start from MSB. This defines the upper 4 bits 0, 0, 0, 0. 7 is the next 4 bits 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. In the remaining 4 bits 4, 0, 1, 0, 0. And this has to be copied into all the locations. Remember here we are using IO mapped IO. So we will not have 20-bit address. We will only have 16-bit address. We'll only have 16-bit address. This is in IO mode of operation. 8086 only uses 16-bit of operation. So we have to fill in the remaining 0, 7, 4, 0. So this is what is given. Port A address should be equal to 0740. So similarly, all other places are filled up, forming a complete address of 0740, 0742 for port B, 0744 for port C, and 0746. This is called as address mapping. So once a control word structure is obtained and the address mapping in this form is obtained, next we have to do is interfacing of the device. This is the 8255 which contains port A, port B and port C, address lines, chip select line, read, write, reset and data lines. The data lines D0 to D7 are connected to microprocessor data lines D0 to D7. The address lines A1 and A2 from the microprocessor are connected to A0 and A1 of 8255, because here these lines A2, A1 are the ones that are actually defining your port A, port B, port C and port D. A0 is made completely 0 to satisfy even addressing. That's the reason why we connect A1 and A2. The remaining address lines. What are the remaining address lines? A0, A1 and A2 are used. The remaining address lines that we have are A0, A3 to A15 are all connected to the decoding logic. This is an OR gate, bubble input AND gate, and a bubble input, bubble output AND gate is an OR gate. So this is an OR gate, this is an OR gate, this is also OR gate. All the remaining address lines are connected and they are connected to the chip select logic. So when you send an address of 0740, say your chip is enabled and port A is selected. If you send an address of 0742, chip is enabled, port B is selected. If you send 0744, chip is enabled, port C is selected. And if you send 0746, chip is enabled and control word register is selected. The read lines and the write lines are respectively connected to the IO read and IO write of 8086, and reset is connected to reset out terminal of 8086 with the necessary power signals connected to 825. Once it is connected, now your port A is configured as output. So 8 LEDs are connected to port A through a current limiting resistor of 220 ohm, so that LEDs do not draw excess current from port A and damage the chip. Port B is configured as input port. So switches are connected to port B, giving an input of 1 and 0. This is a basic interface connection that we need to make. Once the interface connection is made, the other part that we need to do, we have configured the control word, we have configured the address mapping of the device. Now we have also made a physical interfacing of the device to 8086 LEDs and switches. The other part that remains is writing a program to 8086 to drive 8255 to read from the switches and update on the LEDs. Right? We will see how we write a programming, understand the program step by step. So what we have done so far? We have interfaced 8255 to the lower data bus of 8086. The A0 and A1 pins of 8255, we have connected it to A1 and A2 pins of microprocessor. And we have used absolute decoding and we have used the 16 address lines because we are connecting 8255 as IO map IO. So other than A1 and A2 lines which are connected to A0 and A1, the remaining lines A3 to A15 along with A0 are used for address decoding, and the read and write are respectively connected to IO read and IO write. So let us see how we actually do it. The first and foremost step in the programming is that configuration of 8255. What configuration we have to do? We have to configure it as IO mode, mode 0, port A, port C as output, and port B as input. What was the control word that we generated? 18. So we will load that into the AL register. So as we are performing input output mode and address is 16-bit address, we have to use the DX register for address. The address of the control word register. In address mapping, we have seen the address of the control register is 0746. So DX register is loaded with the control word register and the configuration word is sent to the control word list. Once this instruction is executed, out dx comma al is executed, your 8255 is configured as port A as output, port C as output, and port B as input port. So what's the next step? Once the ports are all configured, the next step is to read the status of the switches and update the information to the LEDs. Where are the switches connected? Switches are connected to port B. So now the DX register is loaded with the value or address of the port B. What is the address of the port B according to address mapping? 0742 is loaded, and now as you have to get the data from the switches, instead of using out instruction we use in AL comma DX. So if the switch is on, the value of 1, the switch is off, value of 0 is stored in AL register. This information, these are the switches. The switches conditions are read. This information now has to be transferred onto port A. So what is the address of port A? 0740. So DX register is loaded with the value of 0740 and the data is sent to port A, out DX comma A. So whatever the status of the switches is now reflected on the LEDs. Right? So the first three are for configuring. This is for reading the switches, and this is for writing onto the LEDs on port A. The other part of the example was also to identify how many switches are on, how many switches are off. So we will use BL register as a counter for counting how many switches are on. If the switch is on, it will be equal to 1. If the switch is off, it will be equal to 0. So initially we will load BL register with a value of 0. Then we need to also have a count of how many switches that we have. So we make use of CH register and we load value of 08, which is equal to number of switches. Right. Then we will rotate left the content of accumulator by 1. Right, rotate left through, rotate left. So when this rotates, if the carry flag is not set, it is an indication that the switch is not pressed. If the carry flag is equal to 1, it is an indication that the switch is pressed. So when the carry flag is not set, means that the switch is not pressed, so the counter should not increment. So we will jump to this location. We will jump to this location. So as you have checked one switch, we will decrement the counter. If the counter is not equal to 0, again we will go back. Again we will rotate the content of AL. What is AL containing? Status of the switches. If the carry is set, this instruction will be executed. The value of BL will be incremented, and again the value of CH will be decremented. This operation repeats until the value of CH becomes 0. Once the value of CH is equal to 0, this will come out of this loop. Now BL is having a value. What is the value the BL is having? Number of switches on. This value is sent into the AL register. As this value has to be updated onto port C, the address of the port C is loaded into DX register 0744, and the data is transferred to port C using out instruction. If you want to, and we end the program. If you want to repeat this program continuously, so instead of writing a jump instruction, you can write sjump start, and you don't need to go to initialization. Initialization can be done only once. You can write here start. So what are the things that we need to consider in programming? First, configure the ports. Next, read the ports, send the value to update. The next step was identifying how many switches are on. So for that we just put a simple loop of rotating through carry, and if the carry is set, counter is ink. This is a simple example of interfacing switches, inputs and outputs to 8255 through 8086. Now we have seen how many switches we are able to interface. 8 switches. How many LEDs? Almost 12 LEDs, which is not possible when we normally use 8086. So this is how 8255 enhances the capabilities of I/O interfacing with respect to 8086. Hope the concepts are clear with respect to 8255. So thank you for your time and patience. So post your queries at rgmquery.pythonanywhere.com, which will be answered. Do like and share and subscribe to the channel Swa Adhyaya, which helps us in providing you further technical detailed information to come in future courses. Thank you.